owner of the AWF, Call Superstar, 11-time tag team champion of the world. This egotistical bastard is ready to shoot the shit as Shawn Walsh presents The Shawn Walsh Show, where there is no holds barred.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the also controversial Shawn Walsh Show here on the Call All Stars YouTube channel as we continue with Call All Stars Week. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've been enjoying the content on this channel as we have finally reached Call All Stars 7. I personally believe that they are the best Call Stars, they being day 1 and day 2 of Call Stars 7. Feels the best Call Stars. A lot of people have been looking forward to it, and I hope a lot of people were very satisfied with the results of it. However, it didn't go exactly smooth, let's say. As you all know, I had tried to upload day 1 of Call All Stars on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, and was hoping that Call All Stars Day 1 would be up come the morning, and it was. However, it was blocked by the WWE for content that was used on the video, and it was blocked worldwide. So I received quite a few messages at around like 2 in the morning when I was sleeping that Call All Stars 7 Day 1 was blocked worldwide by the WWE. So when I woke up that morning, before I went off to school, I went and checked and I saw what the problem was. Unfortunately, I had to wait till I came home from school later that day to go fix the issue, which included me having to re-edit the scene that was copyrighted. The scene that was copyrighted was the Matt Hardy Titantron, because for those who watched day 1 of Call All Stars, and hopefully if you have not, just maybe skip a minute here because it's going to involve a little bit of spoilers. I mean, you already know it's a Matt Hardy Titantron, but yeah, anyway. As you know, the triple threat match between the SMF, ICCW, and DWA included the Green Ranger. Green Ranger representing SMF, and as many people know who watched SMF, the Green Ranger is Matt Hardy. So there was a scene during the match where the Green Ranger became Matt Hardy. So what I did to try to make it more interesting is I had the whole Mattitude thing, Matt Hardy version 1, and that all flashed up, and I thought it would be fine. Apparently not, according to the WWE, who says that who copyrighted it because I used the content, which I find to be silly. So what I had done, and you could probably notice it when you look at the re-edited video now, is that I blacked off any WWE logo, anywhere where it said WWE, anything like that. I changed the video up a little bit. Hopefully we don't run into this issue again. I didn't think it would be an issue because I used a little like 10-second video. I didn't think that it would be such an issue to block the whole thing worldwide, but apparently WWE does not agree. So I had to go through the hassle of that, and that is why Call All Stars Day 1 was a little bit delayed, and now it is up, but it's not in 720p quality, because that was what the original video was in. It was in 720p, which is why Call All Stars was when it was being uploaded originally, it was taking a while because I wanted to put it in higher quality, hoping that would make it look better, and that required more time for uploading. But with this situation, I decided to put the video quality down a bit so the uploading would not take as long. So there's that. There's that situation. Hopefully, we don't have to run into that situation again. It's really weird because I'm not talking about like on this channel, but in other channels I've used WWE content. I've used footage from episodes of Raw. I've used their Titantrons, and I've never run into the issue of being blocked worldwide due to using WWE content until now for Matt Hardytron, which I find very silly. But hopefully we don't have that issue again. Hopefully all of you guys enjoyed Call All Stars. And if you have not seen Call All Stars 7 yet, go check it out. It's a huge event and involves all your favorite call shows. It has COH, CCL, AWF, ECW, ACW, DZW, NJCW, all those shows and so much more. They're all in the video description, so you can check it out. There's so many great matches that took place at Call All Stars, like the Call All Stars Championship match, which is something I strongly suggest you guys check out, as well as the main event of day one being CCL champion Ray Geddes versus AWF champion Ben Hitman, which was a brutal match. You can watch that triple threat match I was talking about earlier. Check out some of the cool matches like the Evan Rockville and Amazing AJ inside a steel cage. There's Fisk and the Great D, the rematch in a last man standing match. Also, another last man standing match is Akuma of ACW versus Kevin Owens of NJCW. There's Shawn O'Connor making his return to Call Wrestling. Shawn O'Connor, a former guest here on the Shawn Walsh Show, making his official return in a match against Kevin Cash. Very exciting match. The Rumble, which in my opinion is the best Call Rumble that I've ever seen. I thought it was very well done. That was recorded by Cash, Caleb Blair. So, if you see him, make sure to let him know that the Rumble was awesome. Very big names in that match, especially towards the latter part of the match. There's so many big names, and it was just very exciting. Also, a huge Money in the Bank ladder match, in which the winner of the Call All Stars Money in the Bank is my guest today, Brandon Wolfe. Now, this interview was recorded prior to Brandon Wolfe knowing that he was going to win the Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank is a simulated match that I record. I don't control any of the competitors in the match. I just let it happen. And Brandon Wolfe won. I did not tell Brandon Wolfe that he would be winning. I waited until Call All Stars would go up, make it a little bit more special. So, first of all, congratulations to Brandon Wolfe. And also, don't expect Brandon Wolfe to talk about that because Wolfe, obviously, like I just said, was not aware that he would be winning the Money in the Bank. Now he has the opportunity to cash in that briefcase in any championship of his choosing in the next year. So many call shows have Brandon Wolfe, whether it be he's coming into AWF, he's in ECF, he's in MWE, he's in COH. Hell, he could do it at one of these Call All Stars events coming up. So we shall see what happens. It's up to Brandon Wolfe and the call owners of the show season. It's going to be an interesting year. And an interesting interview today. Brandon Wolfe, someone who I've been looking to get on the Shawn Walsh show for a little while now. I know he's been looking to do it for a few months now. It's a very good interview. Brandon Wolfe, of course, being one of the biggest breakout stars this year in Call Wrestling, and he's got a hell of a future for him here in Call. We talk about all that. We talk about all the lows and the highs that he's gone through here in Call. We talk about some of the Call shows that he's seen. We talk about some of the people he's come past, and we also got into Brandon Wolfe's story, which is quite the story, might I say. It is a story that really gives character to Brandon Wolfe, not just the Call character, but legit character to the person, Brandon Wolfe, and it really makes you respect the guy a whole hell of a lot more with some of the struggles he's had to go through. I ask that all listeners of the Shawn Walsh Show please show Brandon Wolfe the utmost respect, as he did not have to share any of the information that he shared on the show today. So please be respectful, be mature, and don't say anything that shouldn't be said. Please understand that this is a guy who's gone through a lot, and he doesn't deserve any of that, and he deserves some praise for the battles that he's gone through. So I hope all of you do that, because it's the right thing to do. So let's all be the baby faces here. Also, later on, you're going to hear me and Wolfe. We talk about one of the recent things in the news is what Donald Trump and some other conservative people believe about vaccinations, and how giving your children vaccinations cause autism and stuff like that. It sounds silly, right? That's because that's what it is. It's absolutely silly. I asked Brandon Wolfe about this, and very clearly he wasn't exactly sure of what I was talking about. He wasn't aware of the story and what was being said. However, after we recorded the interview, Brandon Wolfe did some research of his own, and he found out what is being said about autism and these vaccination details, and he even messaged me about it yesterday. He thanked me for allowing him to be a guest on the show. He looked up the whole he said this. He looked up the whole Trump shot, which is stupid. It's impossible to get a shot because of I think he's trying to say it's impossible to get autism with a vaccination shot because autism involves genes and new ones inside either the sperm or egg. The doctor that makes this theory about the shots also had his doctor's license suspended indefinitely, which to me and any other sane person, or should I say logical person in the world, would know if he got his doctor's license suspended for this quote-unquote theory, it probably suggests that his theory is false. So please don't put that stuff out there. This goes out to the idiots in Washington and Donald Trump, and of course just the general public. It's just silly. Knock it off. Talk about something more important that's, truthful. Like that the Shawn Walsh Show is totally awesome, and all of you should check it out, including next week's episode, which is going to be a very special Call All Stars review and discussion show. You got some more time to check out Call All Star 7, Day 1 and 2. Check out the pre-show as well. It was pretty entertaining. And then next Saturday, pending that there's no delay, uh, me and a few other select guests are going to review the show. We're going to give our thoughts on some of the matches, maybe even tell some stories about how some of the matches came to be, maybe some predictions. We're going to look at all that. We are also going to look at the Call All Stars tournament coming up, the Kingdom of Call tournament, which was announced on day 2 of Call All Stars. I announced that. You can now go to the Call All Stars Facebook page and you can see the bracket for the tournament has been released, the 64 Call tournament. So check that out and maybe do your fantasy predictions. We'll look at it. We'll give some of our thoughts on it. It's going to be one hell of a show. That is a reason. This is a reason why I haven't gone into more Kingdom of Call stuff and upcoming Call events, because I'm going to discuss that next week. I just had to address the errors and some of the problems that went through with uploading Call All Stars, which is all fixed now, and then also talk about Brandon Wolfe. Speaking of Brandon Wolfe, let's go hear what Wolfman's got to say. One half of the Night Wolves and COH, and a man who has been making quite the splash. So let's send it to my interview with Brandon Wolfe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shawn Walsh Show. And today I am joined by a very special guest, huge upstart here in Call Wrestling, joined by Brandon Wolfe. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for me to be here, man.
Now, a lot of people are really excited about you being on the show because, man, 2015 really has been the year to showcase Brandon Wolfe. Like, you came out like a storm, man, and a lot of people are looking for you to succeed. You've been very impressive.
Thank you. From going from jobber at 2014 to breakout star 2015.
It's quite the jump.
Yeah, it really is. I wanted to work really hard, and I said it before UG4. I was going to do my best to make it my year, or just about. And I've pretty much done a good job so far.
Yeah, you've done a great job.
And I have a lot of people to thank. Well, for example, you, because you talked me out of becoming a heel and disbanding with the team. There's a lot of people like Sonny and many more guys.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you this credit. One thing, and hopefully some people out there who are looking to achieve some of the same success that Brandon Wolfe has recently achieved, one of the biggest reasons why Brandon has achieved that success is because when people gave their opinions on what he should do, he listened to the people. A lot of people like to just ignore the people who have had some success here in college. Like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't do so well. Brandon has listened to, he listened to me, Sonny, I'm sure other people along the way, and look at him now.
I think the one I actually kind of didn't like because I kind of sound off doing it. EW wanted me to howl out during kind of like every promo to do the Wolfman gimmick, and I did the draft. Like, remember that little promo at the draft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I howl at the end and yelled the Wolfman's alive. And I think that's what kickstarted the whole build up to this year. The howling, it didn't sound kind of good to me. I was like, I'm not gonna do that again. It was a good try, but no.
Some things work, some things don't.
And I quit doing, because if you can remember, at the beginning of this year or after the draft, I kept saying "see you at the show" at the end of the promo, and because I did not recognize or didn't realize Travis was going to use that promo at the show, so I just eliminated that, because you always hear "see you at the show." There goes one pop. There's Wolf that just popped out. That's a short bet. He said 5 seconds. Oh,
Oh man. Well, we've just started talking about where you're at now, and obviously, before we can talk about any more of that, we have to talk about where you came from. How did you get started here in call wrestling? What's the first shows that you looked at that caught your interest?
Um, Mainly how it started, if I can remember it, because it's many years ago. My first show I watched was No DQ CAW, then
Oh, okay.
DWA. I watched the Doctor, and my favorite match in DWA was the Virus versus Vega, and I loved it when the Doctor got involved, the super kick, and showed he had some balls. Yeah, that was one of the best I saw, and it started building up, and it really started building up around 2012 because I really got into TXW and simulation leagues, and I was a part of simulation for a little bit. I wasn't on a YouTube, I wasn't on anything. I was just under the scenes,
Right.
uh, and I had a lot of fun doing simulation. And like I started really the first one I really got into was ICE, and it's to me was really good in 2012 because they did show some editing work into it. It was fine. And then I got into CXWI, and lately, after I got a YouTube account, this is how I really got started in CAW. I got a YouTube account and started commenting on a few CXWI videos. And
Hmm.
then Austin U has put me in the Facebook group, which in character wise means I'm in the developmental area. And they realized in a short period of time, I'm a really quiet person because I never talked at all for 9 months.
Hmm.
And that was when I had my first match was the Mega Drive pre-show, and I looked like I was sleeping through half of it. Because one hit, down, get up, Wolf, get up. He's sleeping, damn it, leave behind. And then I went to the YTA and won the whole thing. And on behalf of CXDI, for most of the members, we do not condone some of the actions that CXDI has done over the years. We pretty much let Elliot let him do what he does, but we don't question it. But we just only do that. We apologize if y'all get a little offended by CXDI. We do not really like that. We try to avoid that area a lot because Lucario recently passed away in CXDI, so we're gonna stay quiet about that for a little while. And the character wise, so
Okay. All right. Now you talked about the simulation call shows. Now,
yes.
some people may not be too familiar with that area of call, so explain what is simulation call.
Well, unlike CAW, like COH, where you can just watch yourself being in matches, and simulation wrestling, you can play in your matches, kind of like online stuff. When you know how like competitive guys go up on online and
Right.
Xbox 360, yeah, instead of doing competitive stuff, they just do like an actual match. Like if I say a perfect example to watch, go watch Nick Virtue. Go watch a show today in 2K15, NAH, CCE, TXW. It's a pretty great show. There's a lot of great shows like BG. I can't say BGC or something. All I know is it's Dojo. Dojo. I finally said it right. Dojo. And the ones I really got into, and I'm really sad it died, and it died with so much a little bit of controversy. NGC, and that's the one that actually stood out to me a lot because when it first came out, all the characters were in it that we all recognize: Stigma, KDK, Kevin Perez, also known as Maxwell Verdi, AC Arthurs, and other guys. All really great guys. And when they put in the show, my favorite match in NGC wasn't really the main event. It was the hardcore match or it was a chairs match between Shane Silver and Chris Grant for the Mercury Championship. It was an awesome match, and they did some things that people didn't know you could do in the game, like the Daniel Bryan comeback.
Hmm.
On the outside corner, there's a chair folded up into the corner. Shane Silver gets kind of fake Irish whips Chris Grant, and he Irish whips to the corner, and Grant hits the chair, but the chair doesn't budge.
Hmm.
And it was actually a pretty good idea. It was pretty smart.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Now, with simulation call wrestling, you run into
I ran into Brian, and I've talked to Brian and Amir. I talked to Orion James. I still talk to Amir today, and At times when I can, I'll talk to Sebastian Case. I'll talk, and then my favorite guy to talk to, because we almost started a CAW league, but college got in the way. The Noose. That's who.
Okay.
The Noose. He's from Rebellion and his tacting partner at times, which he was from NGC. Screech. Will those team come back? I hope, but I don't see a chance. But
Yeah.
they're
Now,
all fun to talk to.
yeah. Now, they're all fun guys to talk to, good people, but unfortunately, you sometimes cross paths with people who aren't exactly the most fun to talk to. A guy who is well known in the simulation world and also here in call wrestling, someone who's not exactly best buds with the Shawn Walsh show, but that being Brent Harvenator, Brent Evelyn, what
Tell
whatever he wants to go by. From
It's
my understanding, you've had a little bit of a history with Mr. Harvenator.
just one match, and it's not a little bit. It's like one bit,
Hmm.
but it kind of made me mad because when I played guys like Joshua Phoenix and Brian Muir and Ryan James, James Alexander, and so on and so on and so on, they gave me advice. But when I faced Brent Delvine, he was my second ever simulation opponent. And what I did after it, I'm going to admit I did do something a little wrong. I apologize if I did something bad. Now, if you do, and I did that, and I did do it on Twitter, I deleted it. It was kind of me, kind of like being a little baby for a bit. But then what Brent could have done, made it better. It was pretty decent, but I could have done better. What he could have done was he could have told me what I could need to improve on, what could I have done to make it a little better, and so on. And I think and I don't hold a grudge today because I don't feel like I should anymore. That was way like last year, so I don't want to hold it anymore. To me, it's childish.
Right. So you don't hold a grudge over
I don't.
Harvenator or anyone involved in that, but you feel maybe instead of taking the way that he took, the better approach would have been to help you out.
Yeah, like he was completely quiet. He didn't want to do anything after. That was it. And I understand why, like, cause maybe to him, he didn't want to be with the guy that wanted to complain a little bit, but as I went on, I started getting a lot better. And my favorite match, well, my favorite ending involved Joshua Phoenix. My favorite guy to play was El Miato, which actually he trained me a little bit in simulation wrestling. I was too much of an idiot to go for Xbox One instead of PS4. Sorry, man. Um, if I would have gone PS4, I will probably still play those guys today and have a blast. I think my favorite, and I always want to play these two guys because they're very, very good, very great to play. Damien Mizera and the breakout guy this year, Adam Hollis. And for another guy, Nick Virtue. Because they're all really good. They're all know what to do. And they actually make the matches look real. Like they're actually selling the stuff. They're actually doing the things that you're supposed to do in matches instead of just beat the crap out of a guy.
Now, you talked about some of the shows you watched from the beginning, like No DQ, CAW, DWA. So obviously, you've seen some fantasy call shows. What are your thoughts on some of the older fantasy call shows?
It's what gave CAW a great start to build up to where it is today. If there was no fantasy wrestling, CAW would have probably been not where it is today. It probably wouldn't be as big as it is. There will probably still be simulation shows out there, but there wouldn't be any shows like COH and CXWI and other stuff.
Right. Now, what is your take on fantasy call wrestling today? And I ask this to a lot of my guests because fantasy, although lately it seems there are some fantasy shows that are starting to make a bit of a comeback, there was a very long time where fantasy call shows seemed to be at the bottom of the poll, and a lot of people, some people even looked at it as a dead area or a dying area. Well, what is your take on fantasy call wrestling in 2015?
As the team, the only main show that stands out to me on that is ACW. The
That's
editing
the
work,
big one.
the editing work is incredible. The editing work is awesome. I love watching the show a lot, and every match is just fantastic. It's always fun to watch. I might, if somebody will suggest me to watch one, I will. The other ones I will watch because and there are some shows that do half and half, like half originals and half fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in two of those shows. I'm in OCBF does mainly kind of Marvel DC characters with a bit of anime and a few originals. CXWI does a mixtures of Pokemon, Sonic, and other stuff, and then they added like original characters. But they both shows they do their best to make it half and half.
Right. Now, now, personally, I would recommend, besides ACW, of course, uh, NJCW. That's also a very fun fantasy college show, um, which is run by Kenyon Phoenix over in COH.
AKA Adam.
Yes. But do you feel that there's always going to be a place for fantasy in call wrestling?
Yes, I always believe it's going to be a big one because it's where we got a big start from.
Exactly.
Always going to be known as this is where we got our start from, guys. And we're always going to recognize it. We're not going to leave it to the side. We're not going to go AWOL on it and just leave it down to dust. We're just going to leave it where it is. Because this is where we got to start. We're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep saying, oh, how do you start it? Fantasy car wrestling. And that's what really got the COW going. And it probably wouldn't be anything without it.
100% agree with you. Now, not just fantasy call wrestling, because I talked about fantasy call wrestling it seems to is the most popular this year that has been in years. But that's not just with fantasy, that's with in general call wrestling. At least in my opinion, and with a lot of the people that I've had on the show, it seems from last year to this year and going into 2016, call wrestling is back in some boom period that we haven't really had since about maybe 2009, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of hot call shows out there. Like, what are some of the call shows like that you watch right now that you're really impressed with?
Now I'm really impressed with
Yeah.
URWL.
Oh, that's a great one.
I love the ones where they make them look like they're actually talking. And that to me is really impressive, and that to me takes a lot of timing and work to make sure they speak just like a person.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, that's Goldash is like thinking how time son of bitches is hard work. Why do I do this to myself? And he does it for the fans, and we all respect him because of it. And there are other shows I can probably name off. FAM. That's another show that's actually really impressive. That's another show that's really
The
good.
only call show to ever trend on Twitter.
And it's the only one that's been said by a WWE competitor. Because remember, Dolph Ziggler said, "Hello to the FAM universe."
That's true.
And I love I love Famiversary 3. That's probably the best show they ever gave because all the hard work they gave to all the editing work, all the matches they had to redo over and over and over again just to make the matches look really great. And it actually did. They all look awesome. And the match that stood to me was just because of the hard work and dedication they put through it. Ron Buster versus Black Heroin, the Hell in a Cell match. I love that match. That will stand out to me always. And
FAM, that's a very big call show. Very, very cool. Them and URWL, man, the skills that those guys have to put those shows out.
yeah.
It's
But FAM, they may do a little less than Goldash because they don't necessarily make them speak. But I do love some things they've done this year, which is really smart. Like, how they do their promos on their phones. Like, little phone pops up and they'll do your promos off it.
right.
That was really smart. And I was really, I think outside the box and it was genius. I just love that.
All right, all right. Now let's switch back to specifically your call career and one call show that you're known for is being an MWE.
WWE.
So,
Yeah.
how did you get an MWE?
Mainly, if I can remember correctly, Calvin messaged me and asked me if I want to join the same way with Travis, or if I just showed up and some unfortunate reason. And lately, he asked me to join. I said yes, and boom, title, and I think and I believe the recall championship is what gave me a big motivation to do better, because not only was I a competitor, I was a champion. I need to do better as a champion, or do just a little more.
Right. Now, let's explain a little bit of the back history here with you and Gustavo, because I know there are some people who are currently watching your guys' program in COH with the recall title being involved in this story, and some
And
people are a little bit confused what happened.
and the big question is, what the hell are these two fighting for?
Yeah.
I know there's a girl named Angie. Here's the real story. This is something I was gonna use, but Gustavo really hasn't yet. This is what the backstory is. We're both in an independent show. Gustavo and Angie were about to get married. They were fiance and husband, about to be man, whatever you call a man in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Gustavo, and this is something I came up because it works out the best. Gustavo was going after a big title that night, and he kind of wanted Angie to help him win, but she kind of refused, so he kind of forced her. And during the match at the end, Angie got on the apron and was about to do something, like distract the champion. Gustavo knocked her off the apron into the barricade, and then he lost. He got really pissed, and he got her, pulled her by the hair, and dragged her in the ring. The next thing you know, I come out, and we both start brawling, and that's when security starts coming out. And that night, Angie left Gustavo, and everything went all haywire. It's the most confusing storyline I ever know. I know, and I promise to make it sound like a lot better. I want to make it a little more than just that. I want to make NWE like kind of like shine in this little thing. I don't want it just to be about like our little feud mainly. I want like NWE to kind of break out a bit, like make it more known.
Kind of use your program in COH as a platform to bring attention to MWE.
Well, what happened was Gustavo was going to make his debut, and he asked me, since we're both feuding in NWE, and he did have a normal contendership match, but sadly, MWE was on a hiatus, so we're like, let's just bring the title here and let's fight for it. And Travis thankfully said yes.
This is interesting. A little bit cross promotion, and like I always say, cross promotion is almost always a good thing to do. Helps out everybody.
Yep. And and like cross promotions. Let's talk about a little bit of super shows for a bit, shall we?
Oh yeah. So let's
Ever
see.
you ever watch CAW Destiny?
I have, yes.
Loved it. Why is it not back? Why can they not bring it back?
I don't know.
I'm,
Destiny. It's been a while since there's
I'm
been a
still I'm
Destiny.
still waiting for Corey Jones versus the who's the champion at the RWR right now? Jamie Emu. That's how you say his last name.
I believe it's Jamie Emo. Yeah.
Jamie Emo. I'm still waiting for the world title. Damn it.
Yeah. Call Destiny. That's it's been a
That's
while
you.
since
That's
I've heard that.
yo. That's like way back.
Yeah, it's been a while. Same with Coalition and I mean the only one seemingly out there still is what I have a big hand in running is Call Stars because the other super shows and like I don't mean like a little like cross promotional. I mean like super mega shows. The only one out there is still Call Stars. The other ones have kind of fizzled out or disappeared for whatever reason.
And all those shows that are part of Pseudo Destiny are pretty much gone.
Yeah, and that might be a factor as to why there there isn't another Destiny. A lot of those shows are gone, and it's a shame, but you
Like,
know,
but
it's
then we have,
just
I think it's RBN.
oh, the Rampboard Network, yeah.
I think that's their super show. Like they do something like probably yearly to probably do. Cause they did do like a SWF and URWO kind of crossover at the end, or SWF versus the world. And the
Right.
end was Corey Jones and their champion at the end, and SCF won because somebody got involved. His black jacket. I still can't recognize his name. It's because it's such a weird name and such a like weird kind of look. We're like, is he a bodyguard or part wolf? Because it looks like he's about to turn into a werewolf. He's kind of scaring me, guys. Anyway,
Werewolf scaring Brandon Wolfe.
no, that's probably some fans, but no, I can probably deal with them.
uh,
Okay, next one. What's up?
Speaking of some super shows though, now I'm not talking like the big mega events like Destiny or Call Stars or Collision or whatever, but like just a little cross promotion shows. Is there any shows you'd like to see COH do cross promotion with, do a super show with?
COH and COH and CCL.
Wow, that's the popular one. Everyone wants to see it.
Here's a match suggestion that I want to kind of give out, and this is something that happened in CCL. I want the rematch because it's just to see how much the Wolf character has improved since that time. When he was called the Autistic Wolfman, we all remember this. On Holiday Havoc, Michael Hyman had a gauntlet match for the Hardcore Championship. Who was the first man to accept that challenge? The Autistic Wolfman, me. On out, and when they saw the back of my shirt, Doctor started to question me. Like, are you kidding me? We're really gonna let him compete? There's autism in the back of his shirt, autistic. And I lost, but let's see how much I improved since then.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Now, let's talk about COH.
Or you could have the Night Wolves versus the Wolves, but that's a whole different story.
See, that would be something.
Who the true Wolves?
Yeah, that's right. Um, but taking a break a little from some little fancy booking here, we're gonna go. You joined COH, and you said Travis asked you if you wanted to join, and you were like, yeah. So you came in and you were part of Slam. Now, were you with Raymond Dudley right away, or were you singles first?
I was singles.
You were singles.
And then Raymond needed a partner, and he asked me. And so I said yes, and they're like, what do you want to call us? Can't call each other Wolves. Everybody uses that name.
Right.
You're saying a little more unique. Black Wolves.
Yeah, see, you can't use the Wolves because that's Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, but you guys go by the Black Wolves, which was an interesting name to go by.
Yeah, they looked at me like, we're calling each other the Black Wolves, but one of them is, white.
Yeah,
So, and I decided to change the name from Black Wolves to Night Wolves because it sounded more intimidating, it sounded much better, and sounded more serious competitors.
it's a much better name.
Yes, I fully agree.
Now, you join up with Raymond Dudley, and you guys, at first, you guys were kind of, and I'm not trying to use this to offend you guys, but you guys were kind of at first just another tag team.
Jobbers.
Yeah, you know.
And I was the guy that lost all of those matches, except one. All of them.
Oh, but
We had one win, and we had one win that made me stand out. And you told me, you were the first one to tell me to do a promo after that win. And not only was my promo bland that day, it was also stupid.
but you still did a promo and you jumped on it because my point was, and I'm sure you saw it, was to capitalize on it because let's talk about it. It was anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was at the time the Black Wolves up against I think New Movement, right?
Car Jameson and
Oh
some
no, it was the Hager Dynasty.
Hard Dynasty. And it was Car Jameson that I speared his ever like boots out.
Yeah, it was like some like
I threw him in the air and
hit
caught.
that spear, and the comment section, I believe on the Facebook page, exploded. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, that was a crazy finish! What a spear!" Everyone was talking about you.
and he got dropped on his head, but he came back up and threw that son of a bitch in the air and caught him. That's what I see it as. Like, he got he got driven on his head, he kicked out, and he got back up and he threw the guy in the air and he just caught him with a spear.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I'm like, if the guy, like, if the me today was back then, I would have probably abused that moment and just say, yes, I did that.
But it was cool. I remember because I was looking in the comments and I'm like, why is everyone specifically talking about you? And I go look and I see exactly why. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's why I messaged you. I'm like,
Why are you being
you have to do something. You got to do a promo.
like, why are you being so damn quiet all of a sudden? Like, I don't know.
Because the way it works, I mean, especially with a show like COH, if you want to succeed, you gotta do promos.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they're not like, Goonie and accuracy level, because if you're at that level right away, then you should be shot right to the main event.
Yeah,
But
and I got told I sound like I read a book, doctor.
yeah, and you know what?
And I'm gonna take that as a motivation. Like, him and Steven said, I do not perform an awesome promo, but doctor said I do know what I say. I know what to say. So that's another motivation to keep doing better. But I'm gonna do my best and try to not sound like I'm reading a book. Like, today we are here to fight like a school play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you're obviously the first few times you're not gonna knock it out of the park. You got to keep doing it, and that's what you did. You kept doing promos, you kept trying, and I noticed it from the beginning, and everyone else noticed it as well. Each promo was getting better and better and better, and the things, if some people found issues, you fixed on them, and you got better, and now
Like,
so
I'm
much better than they were.
I'm gonna state the previous battleground promo that I made. I sounded a little like that. I'm gonna do better next time to make sure I sound more clear. I'm not saying it was kind of my bad because where I was recording, I don't sound like this. I sounded like a little muffed up voice. I didn't notice because I went straight to bed after that, so I never had time to hear it. So next time, no matter what I'm on Skype or just gonna give a little promo, I'm gonna make sure I sound clear because I'm not gonna do that again, I'm not gonna hear that again.
Oh no, yeah, but see, at least you know now. Now you can fix
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. At least I'm gonna improvise now because, and I think the most frustrating one I had to do, like, it was mostly a sketch between me, Gustavo, and Santos. It was, or AKA Jeff. They were supposed to talk after my match with Stephon Guerrero, the one that I got screwed out of, what Wolfe did. And so I had to keep telling these guys for like kind of like a week for like, guys, we need something. I need something. Tell me what you're gonna say so I can say it. And then I just gave out 2 young promos and I gave it to Travis. And what I didn't realize was he made them like completely together so they didn't sound like, like it was actually fluid. It sounded like the Christmas tree in a few of those scenes where like, this is where you stay. And another thing. And it was quite funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, ah.
Now, you and Raymond Dudley, the Night Wolves,
Yes.
you guys from Anniversary went through all the way to Ultimate Glory and to what you guys are doing now. But the thing is, what I have noticed, and everyone else as well,
Being quiet.
yeah, you've done promos, you've done what you can, and you've tried to do the best you can. But Raymond Dudley, if his call wasn't on the show, no one would know he was there. Where is Raymond Dudley? Is he there? Is he really shy to even post a comment on the page? What's going on?
I haven't asked him, but mainly what he told me is his character is quiet. Like, he's like and this is the thing about it. Like, in UCCW, where he's at, where we're both at as well, he looks like a hitman, and he looks intimidating, so it will look natural for him not to talk. in COH, he looks like a nice guy, and he looks like he wants to talk.
Yeah.
And he looks so like I'm not kidding. Like the UCCW version and the COH version, you put those two Raymond Dudleys together, they look so different. But only one is UCCW version looks more intimidating than the other one. This looks like that way to me. Like it looks way more intimidating. And you do not want to meet in the back alley.
But it's almost like it's the same guy, but it's almost two different characters of
Like
Raymond Dudley.
it's like Jay Craig has told me when he like Jay Craig we talked a few times and you were there like how he kept like holding a team together and kept holding like a huge feud together and he told me that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's 'cause I was going to ask that because Jay has been known to kind of hold hold things together. Like he previously teamed up with Owen Youngblood of the Unwanted Masses, and while they did good, the reason they did good was because Jay carried Youngblood. Youngblood either didn't do work, or if he did, it was really bad. And Jay had to carry it, and that was why they succeeded, and to the point where they split up, and Jay joined up with Ego. So, and Jay compare, and I remember that because Jay compared yourself to him. That it seems like you're carrying the Night Wolves. Do you feel like you are carrying the Night Wolves?
And the words of Jay Craig, I am White Crack.
White crack.
And I do feel like I'm carrying a team, and I do feel like I've been carrying this feud the whole time because you've heard Gustavus talk one time, you heard Santos talk one time, you've heard me talk every single show, and
Oh yeah.
and even if it's not even involving the feud, you still hear me talk, and that to me it doesn't frustrate me because it's helping me like still practice and still kind of improve, but it's also backfiring on me because it's not going to make the feel a little bit good.
it,
And
it's it's almost frustrating. Like it's great doing promos and doing all yourselves, but it's like you need people to respond to you. You need people helping you out to help carry the feud.
and they do, but they can't be able to do much because they always say, "I gotta do this, I'm gonna do that." Now I get it when life comes to you and you have to do something, but listen to me. I have a job. I have a girlfriend. I have school. I have homework. I have projects. I'm a senior in high school, which all that shit's gonna be coming together and hitting me real hard. So, and it's gonna, and right now it's probably kind of hard to do promos, but I'm still trying to find time to do it. If people want to like a little bit complain because they have something like a girlfriend or job or school and they just want to complain about it, that's their thing. And some of them I can understand why because they need to study real hard. They really need to study. Well, at the end of the night before you sleep, at least try to do something. And
All it
I,
takes is a post on the page.
oh yeah, it's like a typing post, but and I do typing post, but only involves like I do typing wrestling. I like to do typing wrestling because I make it want to sound realistic and good. And I did have a typing wrestling show in the past, or CAW in the past, but it ended because I guess I lost a little bit of passion for it, and I didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't have time for it, so I just stopped. But every match I did, it sounded really good, and I did some good typing promos.
Yeah.
Um,
You
but
know,
man,
there's one thing that, and I've made it clear on the show that I hate when people overuse the whole I'm I have a life and I can't do anything here in call when it comes whether it be a promo or a post. Some people have legitimate, they're busy,
yeah,
but some people, they do things just like everyone else, whether it be in COH or other call shows. And I mean, hey, look at me. I have three ex-wives, a current wife, 16 children, and three jobs on the side. It's your choice to see if I'm telling the truth right there, but I still do promos.
I, And this is the latest promo I've ever done. And if you want to look at the guy for a great example to look at to motivate yourself to do better, Steven on COH, or AKA Democracy. He works his ass off. Like, and he does really good on everything.
Oh yeah. See,
He,
and that I'm glad you brought up inaccuracy, and same goes for the other top guys. All those guys who do the great work and everything, and people try to use, oh, well, I don't have the time. They're very busy guys, but they're still putting that out.
and this is the latest promo I ever gave out. This was it was probably it was me, Steven, and Nitro. This is the previous Battleground promo where this video was up, probably from Nitro, Stefan, and Wolfe. We were all trying to talk, and we're like, what do we need to get done? I'll probably go around 8. Okay, let's go. Well, let's go. Something with the family happened, so I had to postpone it. We're going to do it like probably 9 or 10. And what happened was Stefan slept, and he looked at his clock like 12. Oh, shit. So he woke us all up, and I was still asleep. I woke up to check my phone, and luckily I saw where he at. I was like, damn it. It's 11 p.m. I told him, if I do this, I'm going to sound like I'm drunk. And he's like, I said, like, no, 5 minutes won't kill me. So I did it. So I just did it right then and there. This is my first ever Skype promo, so I had to think right off the bat about what I'm going to say. And I've thought about it in the past. I reviewed it, or kept rehearsing it, I think a few times when I fed the dogs a little bit. So I don't lose the pace for what I'm going to say. And it sounded pretty decent. I thought I said, let's give him the whole match a lot, but I didn't. So that's pretty good. That's my bad memory.
Sometimes those things happen. Like sometimes you try to do things, and sometimes you sleep. Sometimes things come up. It happens.
And I did it. It took about 30 minutes, but I kept saying, we put on a hell of a match. We put on a hell of a match for past few times. And each time we give them these little hell of a matches, we need to go to the hell of a match right now. Let's go to the time. Let's give them the hell of a match. Let's go. I was like, well, that sounds wrong. I know it sounded a lot better, but I sounded like I had a sock in my throat. I was like, you good, Brandon? Good.
Now,
like Nitro's 10 feet away with holding the mic. He's like, you good, Brandon? That's what it sounds like. Let's be serious. And it was actually pretty fun. I'll admit. I was like, 5 minutes would kill me. 30 minutes. 30 minutes? I was like, I'm dead. It was fun. It was so fun.
No, it's good you bring up Nitro. It leads me into next question here, because obviously the first thing that caught people's attention was the whole spear. But the next thing that brought everyone to be like, wait, we should look out for this kid. We should see this kid's got some potential here. Was this kind of
the first encounter between Nitro and Wolfe?
Yes, that match. Nitro had the open challenge. He was doing his best John Cena, and you came out. You accepted the open challenge, and
I gave it a fight.
you gave it a fight. See, what I compare it to is, it's funny because John Cena, the open challenges, is when he had those series of matches with Cesaro back a few months back. Obviously, it was a face versus face equation, and it was a great deal of respect. Phenomenal matches. Now, Cena obviously kept the title in the end, but it put Cesaro over a great deal because of those great matches, and he came close to becoming the champion. And I feel that's what's being done with you and Nitro. Nitro, obviously, keeping the internet title because he has his program with Stefan, but it's brought so much attention to you as a singles competitor.
Yes, and the match idea was my idea. I told Travis, or asked him, I always want to do this match. I think it'll be building up very well between both this feuds. It's me versus Nitro. I accept this challenge, and then this Gustavo is going to screw me over. That's what I told him. What he gave me, and I didn't know this, but he changed my moveset a little bit to AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
So the people trying to figure out where is that Wolf Fisherman Buster at, or the Cradle DT, or Brain Buster. I don't know what happened. I think someone else is using it, so whatever I use it now, it's alright. But it's It's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind using the Styles Clash, or I might just call it the Wolf Clash soon. The Wolf.
Yeah. But you and Nitro have been absolutely incredible with each other, and I really hope if there's room at some point during the season here in COH that you guys could have like a formalized feud.
I would love to have that happen. Like, there's many people in COH I want to have a feud with. Nitro's one of them, and the third match I can't wait for it. But because the past two matches they've been just so much of a fast pace. In my opinion, is we're both a bunch of hard asses that don't want to stay down. Like stay down. No, I'm John Cena. Stay down.
It's a very interesting thing
Like,
with you and Nitro because it's almost like where you're at right now is where Nitro was maybe like a year or so ago.
and the main person I actually do want to feud with because Wolf being autistic and being used to call the autistic Wolfman, and shown that he's very unpredictable in the ring because he's always fast, he's always on his feet. You don't know what he'll do next. How about you put him against the Funarchist in accuracy?
That would be one hell of a feud.
You bring the Wolfman that has his twisted mindset, and he does have a twisted one against inaccuracy. Now, here's a past thing about Wolf. This is something that happened early in his career, and he keeps it on a mantle, and he wears it as a hat sometimes when he goes down the ring. When he started, it was a little typing show, DWP. And what happened was, I was a new guy. I got started, and a guy gave me a severed wolf's head
Hmm.
as a gift. Now, blood was still dripping from it. The wolf's head was still on it, and I then we had a scaffold match, and I threw him off the scaffold, but I still kept the head as a reminder to not be afraid or be scared. So the wolf just keeps it. So, and I believe that would be more perfect with the Immaculate one because Immaculate doesn't know much about Wolf either. I mean, these two don't know much about each other, and they're both really unpredictable. And Immaculate wants anarchy, Wolf will give it to him. If they want to go through a barricade, Wolf will do his best to put him through every barricade. If they want to go through a table, Wolf will go through the table for them. They want to tear up the steel steps, they'll do it. They'll want to break every trash around the arena, they'll do it. They want to go to the back and break shit, they'll do it. Make it the most hardcore match ever.
That would be one hell of a feud. I mean, I don't know when it could happen because obviously M accuracy is very tied up with his stuff. But that would be something that'd be great someday in the future.
Because they have two twisted minds a little bit. Because we can all tell that Wolf, he's a bit twisted. And when he gets pissed, he really gets intense in the ring. He really gets focused. He gets competitive. He doesn't bring on those little taunts or like childish stuff. He really will just fight.
Yeah, and two people I think that would have a great chemistry with you and that you'd have really good feuds with, and it could actually realistically happen in the very near future because it just makes sense. Would be either you and Stefan or you and Jay Crack.
Yes.
Those would be some good feuds, and that brings me to this. We're talking about singles feuds. So you're going up against Gustavo
Yes.
at Outbreak. A- After that is are the do you see the Night Wolves continuing on and maybe going after those tag team titles, or are we going to see Brandon Wolfe officially go straight up singles?
This is what I want to do. I want to help out both the divisions. I want to help out the tag team division, but I want to do a singles career. I want to do a little bit of both. And I want, and since I got a rematch for the Internet Championship after Outbreak, I want to do something that's a little more special. One night, probably if the Wolves will get a shot at the tag team titles, Wolves in two matches because he's done two matches in one night before. Why not do it again?
Right.
And let's say about like the way to build it up, the tag team champions, the current tag champions face the current Internet champion and a partner of his choosing, and whoever wins, that's who Wolf is going to face 1st
Mm-hmm.
Or the losing team, that's who Wolf will face first. They'll get the Wolfe that's already completely healthy. He's not going to be holding back anything. And the winner will face him later on that night. Probably let's make it more work. But I will mainly if I want to, I'll just help out the tag team division because there's not a lot of tag teams in Battleground. And I want to help them out a lot.
So you'd still like, you don't want to just jump to, say, the internet title picture and ditch the tag teams. You still want to do something with the tag team division.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Is it more of a goal for you to win the internet championship or the tag team titles?
Well, from how I started in a singles match. It would be kind of special that he would be winning a singles title, which was how he had started.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to do a tag team title, so and Wolfe has had a few tag team titles under his belt. He was probably it was company it was AW3. That's probably the company's name. I don't know why they said it. I don't know why the company was named that, but I'll leave it there. I was the first tag champions with the Wolves. That's what my original group was called. We were the Wolves. We were the first tag team champions, and we were the last. And so it was pretty good. But I want to try to see how I can do it again. And me and another friend were trying to, in CW, we were trying to get into another tag team division, and we were doing good, but sadly the league closed down. So I probably will stick to the tag team division mainly, just to see how I would roll with a tag team guy.
Okay. All right. Um, and me being a guy who has been in tag teams for the last couple of years, I definitely dig that decision.
And it would be unique to actually have somebody will have both a tag team and a singles career at the same time. You
Yeah,
don't that often. I could be very well as the Miz, where I could hold a tag team and the Internet Championship,
that's true.
or and probably in one night. And this may be the craziest idea I may ever have. One guy gets all 3 title shots, like one night. If he wins a match, because when Jeff Zandig won, he can have any title match he wants. It wasn't Pacific. It wasn't how many in one night. It was just a title. Like you were getting a title shot in one night. It wasn't Pacific. So why not all the titles in one match? And whoever gets pinned will lose their title.
Hmm, that's an interesting match. Something
Yeah,
maybe Travis
I,
should listen to.
I've done that before, like a little bit like my own like homemade CAW stuff. I had the idea. It was pretty unique and pretty outgoing. Yeah, I liked what I put throughout, and what I managed to do was I managed to make so many little characters. I pretty much, when you make characters, and you've done it as well, and other people have, when you try to recreate a character or create another one, you'll probably copy another character and put it down. When you try to make that other guy's attire, your character that you are using looks better.
Yeah.
And you sometimes will make a character look ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've certainly done that.
Oh yeah, like you made a confident competitor look like he walked out of a clown show. You'll make let's say, a happy-go-lucky competitor look really competitive. And as it's all fun in CW. If you're really into it, you're really gonna create characters, and you really want to spark interest in a lot of things and want to be in it. This is right for you, and this is where you'll have a lot of fun. And if you don't have a lot of fun doing some of this stuff, this probably won't have to be for you.
All right. All right.
Random moment.
We're actually gonna go and switch to a few fan submitted questions.
I
Uh,
I think there were none. Because I looked at the Ask FM and was like, this is just you and me.
oh no, I got some. I got some. Which
Really?
people can send their questions to ask.fm/Shawn Walsh 105. Go send in your questions for upcoming guests on the Shawn Walsh Show. So let's go to some of these questions. All
Okay.
right. First of all, thoughts about Dashin' Big Show.
Dashing Big Show?
Yes, it's very dashing, man.
The hell is that?
Dashin' Big Show. He's a great guy. Uh, Can you grapefruit your man?
Jay. Yeah.
Cash would like to tell you Satan.
What?
It's funny because there's so many inside jokes that I get, but you don't. Here we go. What shows do you watch?
Look at the beginning of this video, man.
Yeah.
About I think I missed a lot of simulation shows, but that will take an hour but to talk about. I
I
really
don't think people want to listen to an hour of shows.
I really got into I'm really getting into ECF, AWE, and there's Call All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
There's all way others. Simulation PWR. This is around I think WWE 13, and then 14 was CCE, RWU, so on, so on, so on.
Right.
2K15 now is where probably it stands out the most, but there are some areas of COD where they had some editing, and the best 2K14 match I saw was between Cameron Bash and Nick Ritchie.
Okay.
Best friend.
Now this is a question we addressed earlier, but there's a few more I guess you can name. This is top 5 guys you want to feud with in COH, can be Slam or Battleground.
Okay. Ultimate Nitro and Accuracy. Those are two I said earlier.
Yeah.
Sonny, Ray
Okay.
Geddes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Redneck versus Wolfman. We're both from the South. And the fifth guy, man, this is gonna be a hard one. You know, this is really we started with a tag team feud. This was our first tag team we faced for tag titles. Well, Night Wolves and Ego.
That would be one hell of a feud.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? I mean,
If I can name like another single competitor, because I faced him a few times in other city leagues, El Navino.
that would be one hell of a match, actually.
Because we faced each other before, and what was the interest? This is the interesting part. Every time match we've been through, I've always won. I've never lost a time match against El Navino. I have lost matches against the guy, but none of them were for titles. And each time that we are in title matches, a majority of times he's the champion, and I take the title away.
So you win when it matters.
Yes.
All right. And another question. This is sent in by COH owner Travis Sparks. What does succeeding in call mean to you?
Succeeding in call. I said on the draft, it doesn't I said it. No matter what disabilities you got, no matter if you want to put your heart and soul into it, and you want to work really hard, your dream will come true. Being successful in CAW will mean probably a lot because I went from being a nobody to just a somebody, and made a bigger name for myself out of what I made, and it will just be awesome. And like CAW guys, I have left a few shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one I left, which I did not like the most, was ECW, and there was other stuff too, but ECW is the one I can mainly remember leaving the most. And this is not the one where they came back from a 5-year hiatus. This is Ryan Jones, ECW. I wasn't happy about all that, and strangely, it wasn't because I was a low card. No, it was strange because the feud I had was not working. I was treated like a low card, and I thought maybe I should be brought down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then build myself up. And the league started going 2K15, and everything started I left as they went to 2K15. 2K14, my character looked like crap. Because in COH, he looks like he's 25. He looks like 225. In ECW, he looks like he's in his late 30s. He's about to fall asleep. And it's like, I'm doing real good so far. I'm beating this guy's ass. I'm gonna go sleep. And it looks like I'm about to fall asleep. In 2K15, I asked him either RVD or CM Punk Books. I keep working on the 2K15 character today. I still do because I want to make him stand out more. He gave me big ass Daniel Bryan kick pads that looks like you would need a cars to run them over to actually hurt my
Mm-hmm.
leg. They look like big pads, like big safety pads you put on my legs, and they weigh. It looks like they weighed a lot, so I had to really step it up. And I didn't like it. Like, I never liked anything ECW did. I didn't like how they did manage to do things. And this is for anybody in ECW. Probably this is mainly general. If you leave ECW, and it doesn't matter if you're a close friend, it doesn't matter if you were really good with Ryan Jones, when you leave, he does not care. In my opinion, Jones really cares about himself and ECW and wants to make the product grow to where it is, but he does not care or give a damn about the people. He only gives a damn about himself.
Oh, okay.
And he gives zero effort, in my opinion, none, to make the characters. And if he does, it's just because that person will be a good friend, but when they leave, he wouldn't give a damn.
Okay, so you're saying he's someone who he he seems like he cares when you're there, but once you're gone,
Yes,
who are you anyway?
and from what I saw, and I gave him photos of Brandon Wolfe, and he made me look old.
Oh,
Like he gave my
jeez.
bag under my eyes. He made like my cheeks were kind of like reddish. It didn't match up what I gave him, and I was still questioning it. I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And I'm happy I left, and I'm way happier that I'm not coming back. I'm never going back. And if you guys got an issue with me and if you guys in ECW, you got an issue with me right now saying all this, message me right now. Come talk to me on Facebook. We can settle this right now. We can settle this later on today. Whatever it is, we can settle it. Because I know after I left ECW, I was kicked out of the message group. I was kicked out of the Facebook group, and I wanted to finish my feud with Ryan Adrio. I really wanted to, but they kicked me out anyway.
Jeez.
Yeah, and the feud was shit anyway because this is how they built it up, and this feud was fucking stupid. You had this big monster of a man that was the Hardcore champion that beat me for that title kind of easily. The rematch we had, he beat me with under a minute. Well, in their standard, it was a minute, but the speed of the camera was going so fast, it looks like it's 2 seconds faster than it is, or a second faster.
Right.
So it looked like it took 2 minutes long. But he beat me really bad. He beat me really fast. Second time, he beat me, and it was a count out. And our last match was last man standing match. And when I left, he was gonna make Adriel beat the shit out of me, and he did. In the ECW, this is the part I do not like about any ECW league. Don't always play the winner because that will just give the people, oh, he's playing this guy. This guy's gonna win.
Right.
Always play something different. Even if you have to edit the match a bit and play both guys, do that. It's much better. It's more telling on who's going to win or lose. It's going to tell you. It's going to be more like a question game because you're like, okay, he's playing this guy now, so what's going to happen here? And
So I play as both.
I'm doing that now. Because I'm trying to do a match. I asked him on my YouTube channel. It's going to be me versus Brian Mir, and I asked him. He's approved of it, and it took me 8 months to make this character. Not because, well, I was a little bit lazy, but when I asked him about the morphing, it took a little bit while for an answer. So, and when I finally got done, I asked him about the match, and he was all right with it. So, I'm getting it done. I'm working as fast as I can, or as much as I can, and it's going out pretty good. But really, if you want to do something that involves CW, put some effort through it, and try to not play as a winner. And if you want to. And everybody I've talked to after they left ECW or fired from ECW, nobody, including me, respect ECW. We all hate it.
All right. Now let's switch the dialogue a little bit here. Talk about a little bit of a touchy subject.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, everyone knows because you're very open about it. I mean, at one point you called yourself the autistic wolf man,
Yes.
and that is within reason because obviously you've been very open with the fact that you have autism and very proud of it.
Yes.
Now, what? Why do you feel? Because there are people, whether it be here in Call, whether it be here on this earth or in this country, whatever, who also have autism, and some people are, a little shy to share that, possibly because they feel they might get made fun of, or
Rejected.
yeah. So
Oh, this
what
is
what makes you open about it?
well, this is my story. When I was born, doctors told me I would be nothing. I would have no muscle tone. I wouldn't be able to talk or walk or do anything. I would just be in a wheelchair, just waiting to die. And after 3 years of hard work and therapy, I was in and out too. So when I went to the facility, I started doing therapy there. When I went home, I always did therapy there. I just never had a break. My only break was sleep. And I got a little made fun of because of having autism, but not bad. But then later on, I started like running. I did certain sports, which was something doctors told me I wouldn't be able to do, and I did it anyway. And now, over 18 years later, and they told me I wouldn't graduate high school, and I'm a senior this year, and where I'm at. And I currently play soccer. I'm one of the fastest guys on the team. I did something stupid. I strained my back, but I'm still busting my ass to do stuff. And I'm really open minded because the autism gives me motivation to do better. It doesn't just give me that, oh, I have autism. No, it gives me that. Remember what people say? Prove them wrong. And I like to defy the odds.
Right. That's actually a really moving story, and that, and I understand. If I didn't understand before, I definitely understand now, and I hopefully everyone else does. Why you don't shy away from it is because you knew from the beginning what you were told that you wouldn't be able to do, and look what you can do, and you
Yeah.
can do it just like everybody else.
But here's the funny parts. Like I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned that Doc, um, kind of made fun of me a little bit. All that CCL Holiday Havoc facing Michael Hyman, where it's like, are you kidding me? We're really gonna let him go into the ring and fight Michael Hyman? He's autistic. And then when I made my debut in COH, they call me autistic werewolf because they didn't focus on my nickname back then. They're like, he's a werewolf, okay? So the autistic werewolf or wolfman, whatever y'all called it. This said this after the match, and this is actually gave me motivation. Like, I know he has lost his match, but that did not help his autism. And they started kind of making more jokes about like all he needs to do is yell and he'll win the match. And I think being called autistic wolfman, my personal opinion, I think it's what held me back in COH.
Hmm.
And when I went to be an autistic wolfman to the wolfman, it got I got more serious, I got more competitive, and that's where I made a bigger name for myself. And that's what I truly believe. And I still don't shy from it. I still talk about, and amazingly, the girlfriend I got, she knows I got autism, and she knows I'm in CAW, and
Oh wow.
she's awesome. She's like, oh, I'm dating an internet celebrity. I'm like, nope, you're dating an internet.
Hey, like I always say, you make them believe it's true. Even if five people know you, it's five more people than they got.
Yeah, she knows a little bit. My family knows. I think one of my friends knows in soccer, and one of them were trying to figure out how to get in, and I was too confusing to tell him, but I knew he wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
So I was like, I'm sorry. And he was Latino, so I probably could use him for lucha battleground. I could,
Ah.
I could say this, translate. It could have been a funny thing, but I didn't want to do that because it made them a little too racist. But
Eh, maybe.
yeah,
Uh, with all the people you've crossed paths here in call wrestling, whether it be on group pages or on call shows. I mean, you talked about how like the doctor and some other people have made a comment. I mean, usually those are like in character and not meant to be
yeah,
an actual jab. But have you ever crossed paths with anyone who actually used that as a negative against you and tried to bash you for that? I certainly hope not, but.
years ago, probably a few of my family members, well, sisters did. Like they were like, I wish you never had it because they're always making you feel special. And right now, I'm not. I don't tell people I have autism that much because I want them to figure it out.
Right.
But it's hard because you can tell a little bit I have it, but you won't be able to tell by just visual.
Mm-hmm.
Because I look more normal than majority of the people in my school and a majority of people at around the world. Oh, they're probably 18 or 16 because they all act like they're fucking nuts. I mean, these some kids they act so goofy and stupid. You put me right next to them, and up there and think he's special. I'm like, wow,
I'm,
that's a compliment. I'm like, and if it's gonna be personal, I'm gonna take it I'm gonna take it serious. I'm gonna take it more personal. But if it's in character wise, I do not mind. But when you do, tell me because if you do say that and it's probably in person, I may think about it because I don't take jokes. I don't no jokes. I may watch comedians, but I do not take jokes as friends to it.
right.
So I may take it personal, but
Yeah, I mean,
just let me
I,
know.
I kind of meant a little bit more specifically in the call world.
Oh wait, no, nobody yet, nobody.
Okay, okay.
Um,
That's good.
Me and Caleb talked about it for about like we want we after UG4 he wanted a few of me, Caleb Blair. And he wanted to mention like mind if I it's like a little insult your awesome in character. Like if it's in character, it's all right.
Yeah,
Pers-
if it's in character,
personally,
it works.
you're going too far.
Exactly, exactly. Now,
And he stood completely because it's somebody in his family has autism and he gives a little bit of respect.
right. Uh, I don't know if you were maybe you were on the page or maybe you don't remember. I'm not sure, but there was a time, sometime in the spring last year, I believe. It was on the call shoot page. A guy by the name of Daniel Lyons, who came from Code of Honor, the other COH, and for a while there was a little bad heat between the two COHs. The Code of Honor guys were trying to take shots at the Call of Honor guys, and Daniel Lyons, who I believe is an owner there or a call wrestler there. I'm not exactly sure, but he came on the call shoot page, and then he started making comments about members of the COH, like our COH, the Call of Honor roster, which were completely out of line. He went and he used the term. He said he called us the Call of Autism, using autism as a derogatory term
Oh,
and trying to insinuate that everyone in in Call of Honor had autism and stuff like that. And he certainly got shit for it. A lot of people were very upset with that and very offended by that. And I mean, first of all, if you do you remember that? And second of all, what is your take when people use autism like that in such a derogatory way?
and this is my I do remember that comment,
You
and
do.
I was super pissed when I saw it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna use call autism, something that like right now probably 188 kids can have today. From the past, it was probably 168 kids. I got really like it's like saying retard or midget or the N word. We're all gonna get offended by it. But when you talk about when the person really has it, they get more offended because you're talking about them,
Mm-hmm.
and that hits them right personally. But I don't let stuff get to me like really bad. Well, it's, in my opinion, he's just a fucking jackass,
Oh, I definitely agree, and I'm
and
sure many people out there will
he's
agree with you.
he's a prick. He's a he's a COH. His show is nothing but a COH wannabe.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Now, this one's a very very real question. I know this is a call podcast, but this is an interesting one because it's in the news, and obviously, I'm sure you've heard this, and I'm sure you have a little bit of an opinion on it. Some people have their thoughts on how people are born with autism, such as Republican nominee Donald Trump, who has made comments suggesting that vaccinations contribute to children being born with autism. What is your take on this theory?
It's if it helps out the autistic community, I love it. If there's gonna be something bad for it, I might hate it because
Well,
I didn't know about it until you just told me. I didn't know.
what he's trying to say, and people who believe this, is that because there's some people who say that like you shouldn't if you get the vaccinations or whatever, uh, then you will be it'll give you autism. But it's weird because if you don't get the vaccinations, you could be very sick, and that's how you were born with things. But him and others believe that if you get these vaccinations, that a kid is going to be born with autism, when scientifically that's not how it works.
No, it's basically the past life. If you're like, say for example, your mom smoked when you're pregnant, your mom had a little drink, your dad had a little drink like 2 weeks, a little bit 2 weeks before he started going in, or had some type of drug. And my grandmother, I think, smoked a bit, so I think a bit of that went into when my mom when. And I'm the oldest kid out of the bunch of my family. I'm the only kid that was born autism. I'm the only kid that was born in Baton Rouge. I'm the only kid that was I was the biggest kid. I'm the only kid that's the longest eyelashes. I'm the kid that was born with some type of wolf eyes because they're more unique than any other kid in this house. I
But
pretty much became the odd one, but in my opinion, it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't. It's stupid to think like that. No,
because
it won't.
autism is something you're born with,
Yes, it's
it's not
something
something you can develop.
you can't get. Like if I give you my blood, you will not have autism. No, you have to be born with it, and that
It's not
to
like
me,
the flu.
no, it's not like the flu. It's not like Ebola. It's not like cancer. It's not like anything else. It's just when you got it, you got it. You can't spread it around.
Yeah. I mean, me, I think it's silly and offensive that Tim and other people um, believe this, and I think it's very offensive to people who have autism, because they know that's not exactly how it works, and that they're saying that they would rather not give these kids vaccinations to be healthy because of their false theory that you can develop autism.
This is
It it's just it's,
if you do not want to give kids vaccinations because you're afraid they're going to get disease, what the fuck kind of parent are you? Don't be afraid because of what people say and you think is gonna happen. Use that as a little bit of motivation. Like, oh, if he has autism, we're gonna make him stronger. We're gonna make him better than any other kid. We're gonna make sure he has a childhood. We're not gonna let him sit there and die like every day, like in a wheelchair. That's why. And if it does happen, if it does, don't treat it like it's cancer. No, it's not going to kill somebody. You're still going to live with it. You're still going to do some things with autism that other kids are not going to have. And eventually, you're going to grow out of things that you're supposed to have with autism. Like for me, I'm not supposed to lie. I grew out of that. There are things with autism that you tend to grow out of it, but there are some things that you don't. And
it's just life. It's not a bad thing. It's used people use it like, oh, you you get autism, like it use it as such a bad thing. Like it's a struggle that like you yourself and other kids nationwide have dealt with growing up, but it's not. It really isn't a bad thing. It's almost in a way to some kids, it's a challenge, and it's almost like a gift.
yes, it's a motivation. It's something to like. I got this. The ball's been given to me. I'm gonna run with it. That's mainly what I'm doing. I'm running with the ball. And I'm not going to stop until I make a million touchdowns or 1,000 or something where I do something big.
Hey, if you're making all those touchdowns, I should bring you on my fantasy football team. Oh man. Uh, so this is a little interesting side piece. that I was looking forward to doing. I hope everyone out there is okay with a little non-cause subjects. You know,
Yeah.
there's a whole world out there. But I say we go into my favorite part of the show, name association.
Yes.
So let's rile it off. Let's start off with a name that we've talked about quite a few times throughout the show, that being Ultimate Nitro.
Awesome guy to talk to. I made since you know that says COH, Brandon Wolfe is a morph. Like he has a morphing look, and after a while, his morphing changed. Like he went from being like a chin or cheeks started poke out, and now it started to become thin. I did a bit of morphing for his face for Nitro, and it looked almost just like him.
Oh wow.
and and it made him stand out more. And now that he has like long brown hair, you can probably use that and make him stand out a little more. But and to me, morphing is what will make your guy stand out more because it'll just give him that face where you can just recognize it. It won't be like a default face. And the person that got me into it is Aiden Paracola.
Hmm.
He got me into morphing. He got me into stuff. And then when I did a WAW trial match, James Alexander gave me a few tips on morphing and I used it. Faced Ryan James, gave me a few tips, used it. And then as I went on, I started doing better and better. And then almost beginning of this year, I was like, I don't like this anymore. The legs are too big, the body's too long. Everything looks a little off. So I made them again and I started from scratch and it looks a lot better.
Nice, nice. All right. Raging Redneck, Ray Geddes.
Uh, he's a funny guy. He's a pretty good guy from what I heard, and his promos really great. They're really great. Um, it's like Y2J, but only the redneck version where he always says the same thing over and over again each week or every time it comes out. It's really good. It's fascinating to kind of like watch him grow up, and as a character, also he's helping a big majority of the community, from what I've heard, and it's pretty good. And
Good guy.
congrats to winning the CCL World title.
All right. Lester Barkley.
I think I talked to him when I first arrived in COH because I was put in a little group.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started hearing him talking. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was Lester.
You didn't know Sonny was Lester.
I did not know that at first. No.
Oh.
And when I realized it, I was like, shit. And so we started talking for a bit, and after the Ultimate Glory 4, the ladder match, he got a little pissed, and I told him, "You're gonna get something in the future. Stay calm. Don't do what Jarvis does and complains. Stay calm." And he eventually got the Pride Championship. I was like, "You got something."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Great." And he's a really nice guy.
All right. The Punisher, Fisk, Andrew.
Andrew Andrew asked me to be on ECF, and I accepted it. And I can't wait to be a part of it. I can't wait to talk to Andrew more about stuff. And most of the guys you're gonna mention, I want to talk to them in person instead of like in business wise, because that's what I mostly talk about. I don't really talk about like personal stuff because I don't have a lot to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just keep it to a minimum and I just go away. I'm like the guys from Mad Max. I pop out the window for a second and I pop back out.
All right. Let's go with J Crack.
Hey, crack. I'm white crack.
White Crack. That's still funny.
That's all I need to say.
All right. Caleb Blair.
Wanted to help me out after Ultimate Glory 4. Really good guy. Probably one of the guys that saw something in me at first I didn't see and just wanted to go with it. And the way we were going to feud was really, I liked it. It sounded pretty good. And but when we went to Slam, I got a little sad. Like, oh, we can't do it
Hmm.
anymore. Damn. But I really like the character they had. I really like the dark side and his theme. It's really good. It all mixes together very perfectly. And I can't wait to see what's next for Caleb Blair because last time I saw him, he just tore up a contract.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. All right, Gustavo.
Gustavo, he has a lot on his plate. He'll talk when he wants to. The auto voice promo he did, that was because of me. I recorded our Skype chat and with my phone, and thankfully it was loud and clear. You say you can listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very thankful for that. He's a good guy. He's probably one of the reasons I broke out this year about a lot because I wanted to make NWE grow and I wanted to make this feud not turn to crap. And yeah, I think if I did a feud this year with Gustavo or anybody, Wolf will not be where he's at today.
All right. What about? Ooh, let's go with Stefan Guerrero.
Stephon Guerrero
Yes.
got me off my ass to do a promo at 11 p.m.
Uh-huh.
and good guy. Before we did promo, he like 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, and do all that stuff. He was a really good guy to talk to. He was very laid back. He's nothing like the character where the character's all mean and stuff. I do like the character. It's a mixture of Samoa Joe and Kevin Steen to me. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I see, and it's kind of unique. Or it's a Mexican Kevin Steen.
Right.
Fight, fight, Stefan, fight, ole!
Hmm. All right. What about Inaccuracy, aka Steve, among many other names he's competed under?
Um, I gave I gave him like a Steven. I gave him like a Patriot tire that I found. I was trying to find a tire that Patriot could use, and then I thought, and when I realized there was a wrestler called a Patriot in the past that actually had the exact same mask, I went to Community Creations, downloaded the character, and made me just redid all the stuff. And I told Travis, this is what you gotta do: change the skin color, default the morphing, and make the tights black and do anything you need to do to make the Patriot tire look good, and that's it. It was pretty fun. It was pretty good making tires for people. I actually do enjoy it. Steven, good guy, laid back, funny, very funny. And accuracy, twisted character, the man that will ruin lives, somebody I want to feud with a lot, and can't wait for the store future if we actually do.
All right, all right. Um, and last, but
John Wall.
certainly. Oh, well, I was gonna go Travis, but you can talk about me. I'm fine with that.
The guy that got me off my ass to do a promo, probably a big reason why I'm breaking out so far. Because I believe if he didn't tell me to do anything, I probably would be still a jobber.
Maybe, maybe.
Well, I wouldn't. Well, probably I would get off my ass later. I probably wouldn't be such a big name. I'd probably be this guy because everybody was important in the career, and everybody's been very thankful for. And there's some people I do wish would come to COH and other leagues I'm part of, so we can kind of do stuff there. Like I wish Ben Hawkins would come to COH, where that was my original partner in the Wolves. We started kicking ass and we can just dominate like the trio. And he's actually kind of good. He's a good friend. He's probably one of the first friends I made in CAW.
Oh, maybe someday we'll see him in COH. But yeah, last one, Travis, boss man.
Travis, thank you for allowing me to be in COH. Um, I probably wouldn't know where I'd be without COH because that's where I mainly got my name out from. I'd probably maybe still in the internet shows that are typing, and probably in CSWI a bit, but I wouldn't be able to make my name out, and I probably wouldn't be good as promos as I am without COH.
All right, all right.
And
Well,
Travis is such a good guy, and he's open to Here are all the ideas I have, and many of the ideas I've had have been used. There's not very many that he's left out.
Yeah, he's always been very open to ideas, and maybe that's why on the last battleground was very dedicated to this whole internet title picture with.
That was my idea. That was my idea for a segment.
Yeah, that was incredible. I'm really really happy how that went
Same
with
here.
for all you guys. So that was a good idea on your part there.
Thank you. And it brought all the feuds to it brought both the feuds together and it told a bigger story.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just having like one guy, like let the two guys just fight and talk and complain for hours. You have these other two guys that are also in a feud. They come in and they're also in teams, which would make it a little much better.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that about wraps it up.
In an hour and 36 minutes and 20 seconds and
Hey,
more.
you know, sir, I've had long runs. I've had a 3-hour show before, so
That was pretty good. And
it's a long one. But this went well. Thank you for being on the show.
thank you for having me.
All right, and hopefully, and best of luck. Hopefully, when you're back here for your second appearance, hopefully it's even more success. Maybe an internet title reign, maybe a tag title reign, maybe one day going after that world title. You never know.
Or global, comparing.
Yeah, true, true. All right, so again, thanks for being on, and best of luck.
Thank you.